Transformation in 3, 2, 1.
Hi everybody, Heather Stargazer here to do a reading for the collective for whoever, whenever, wherever. If you're a returning gazer, welcome in, beautifuls. If you're new, if it's your first time, come on in. Come on in. Welcome. Today we have the Patch Tarot. We're going to start with the Patch Tarot, and we have the Fedor Pavlov Tarot for clarifiers. We read Patch Tarot on this channel all in the same direction. We read it intuitively and what's going on according to what's going on in the reading and with the other cards in the deck. So the clarifiers will be upright and reversed, but the main spread will all be in the same direction. Ancestors, spirits, guides, what messages do you have for the collective today? Pray the way. Reflective, introspective, victory. On the bottom, meditation. The Hermit, Yod. Very, very divine energy here. Very spiritual energy here. It's really interesting too because he's got the Cerberus here, the three-headed dog, right? It talks about, the protection of our spiritual bubble, right? The Hermit goes into his spiritual bubble for meditation. In the reverse, it says isolation. This talks about taking some time alone to maybe pray and reflect, right? This says the way, pray and trust, right? So in the upright, it talks about having faith. It talks about having that conversation with the divine, with spirit, whether that be your ancestors, your deity of choice, right? Spirit, the great one on high, right? Whether it talks about talking to our higher selves, right? I believe in many goddesses. I believe in many gods. I believe they come and talk to us as spirit guides. Maybe you see them as spirit guides. Maybe you see them as angels. Call them whatever you want. Okay? It's spirit, right? It's beings on the spiritual plane. And we can have conversations with them, and they can show us the way. They can open up those portals within the real if you ask them to. Okay, because there's a lot of that idea of like non-interference, right? Unless you ask, they're not going to get in the way. And that's why it's saying pray, have that conversation in meditation. Right? And it gets really in spirituality underneath that. We've got the Hierophant and it says spirituality. There is a huge need to take a time out today and commune with Spirit. Spirit is asking you to, okay? And maybe there are things that you've needed guidance on or needed direction on or just comfort. Okay, Spirit is here for you. Queen of Cups energy, that feminine, that internal self, right? It says reflective or deceptive. And maybe there are things going on. I just saw 3, 2, 1. Maybe there are things going on that are difficult to clarify. It's difficult to see the clarity. Maybe you're seeing both ways of something. Let me just move this because it's kind of bugging me. Is it bugging you? Is that better? Very visual person myself. So this is talking about the psychic knowing that, again, that third eye chakra, that conversation with the divine, that conversation that they're trying to have with you, right? Really reflecting on the things that you see. She's got all these bubbles, right? She's got all these bubbles around her and she's holding a baby. And it's like this nurturing feeling, this nurturing, protective feeling. And again, that idea of the bubble, right? The bubble, the spiritual bubble, that boundary that protects us while we're in our meditative state, while we're in our prayer state, when you're doing yoga or maybe taking some time out by some water. Maybe it's taking some time out in your car. I'm seeing somebody just sit in their car and taking a deep breath, like that interior space is your bubble. Whatever it is that works for you, wherever that sacred space is for you. I'm hearing an elevator. So that might be strange for some if you're claustrophobic, and for others, it's that space where that in between is embraced, right? There's quiet, maybe there's a little music, and it's just that in between space where you're going from one floor floor to another, when you're going from one space to another. Maybe you were in your office and now you're going down to the street. And so you were in this confined space where everybody was working on a certain thing or certain things, right? And working toward the business aspect. And there is a responsibility. There is an acumen. There is a behavior that everybody in that space is working with. Right? And you get in that elevator, take it how it resonates, right? Just as a metaphor, or maybe it's for real for you, because I am seeing somebody in an elevator and just taking that deep breath as you shift gears, because now you're going out onto the street and everybody's walking in all these different directions, and you're traveling, you're in transit from one place to another, and there's people everywhere, there's smells everywhere. Oh my goodness, there's weather. We're in this controlled space, this controlled environment, climate, expectation, right? And we do need to go back to it, 555, right? Maybe we have to go back tomorrow, or maybe you have to go back after lunch, whatever it might be. There's the space. It's how you take that time to enter into that bubble, because you have introspect here too. You also have the moon, which, see, if you put these two cards in the reverse, they say deceive and hysteria, and these say introspect and reflective, right? Taking that time out to really see through the bog, see through the fog, right? That moment of meditation that allows you to see that path, that in-between path. And again, I'm just seeing these like Cerberus, right? And Anubis, and these dogs. There's a sense of loyalty, a loyalty to your path, a loyalty to your guides. Your guides are very loyal to you, and they want to guide you through this space. You're just like walking toward the moon, walking toward that internal knowing, very Piscean, very water, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. But it talks about that dreamy space, so I go to Pisces, and here's the moon, right? It says Pisces. The moon is the ruling planet for Cancer, and we're not going to leave Scorpio out, because there's Anubis going into the other world, right? The otherworldly. All of those places, all of those spaces, all of those emotional feelings, those watery feelings. And how do we get through that path? That's what we were talking about yesterday, that or last reading, right? That the the true wishes lie in that spiritual space, in that heart space, in the in-between. And we got to kind of get through this to get to that victory. Victory and success, and the end is this pride here. So sometimes when things like this happen and we aren't listening to spirit and we aren't taking that time out, right? We can start to tell ourselves things about things because we're only seeing them from one perspective, and those things can start to drive us a little bit crazy. And even if we do supersede or succeed over one or two of those things, it's a very prideful success, right? It's like, I knew I was going to do it, as opposed to a fulfilled gratitude, like, yes, finally, thank you, right? Do you see the difference here? And when we have that thank you, spirit gratitude, there is a massive victory that allows for everyone to participate, right? And you'll get your wreath, you're bringing your wreath back, and it's like this sharing of it, this we did it, this now the success can move forward. Now the whatever it is, job, mission, project, relationship, whatever it is, I feel like this today is definitely talking about an inside job. It's definitely talking about that internal self, that you speaking with you, and the other entities that are involved are maybe on a different plane. And so we're talking about going into that bubble and being protected and guarded and safe while you are. There's DNA, and there is a teddy bear. And then again, there's this baby here. There's this sense of vulnerability, and there is a sense of protection. You are protected. When you take that moment and you're feeling very vulnerable in that moment, that might be why you need to put that bubble over yourself, put the phone off, turn your ringer off, park in the far side of the parking lot and sit by that tree in that shade, where you're going to be left alone, where people aren't going to be knocking on the window, ringing your phone, getting on that elevator, right? I choose to take the stairs. I always take the stairs because I like it. And there's this Malkovich kind of a thing that I do on this weird half floor. Anyway, every time I go on this half floor, it's like a little catwalk between this floor and that floor. I say Malkovich, because there's some sort of magic to this place. I don't know if you guys have seen that movie, Being John Malkovich, but in it they move a china or a filing cabinet on a half floor. It was a floor that was a half space, and they move a filing cabinet, and behind there's a door, and if you go through that door, it takes you through a portal that puts you in John Malkovich's head, but only for like 15 or 20 minutes, and you can see through his eyes, and you can see what's happening there, and what he's saying and how he's feeling, and you're a part of John Malkovich. And then all of a sudden the energy breaks, right? Like the portal is only stable for so long, and it releases them, and it drops them off on the side of the freeway. So they have to keep like running back and picking each other up, and then going back and diving through this portal. And they're going through all of this trouble because they want to be someone else. They want to see through the eyes of someone else, right? There's this magical portal there. So when I go up the stairs and I go stand on this half floor, every time I say Malkovich, you know, because it's a magical portal that's going to take us for a little while to a different place. And then we'll get dropped back off when we're done, right? Back out into reality. So take it as a metaphor, but I take it for like just a little blessing that we will be able to see through each other's eyes when we are in that space. Can you please tell us about the way, Spirit? Hanged Man in the reverse. I gotta look, because the Fedor Pavlov has a little bit of sometimes things that are not YouTube friendly. Like, get up off your butt and start moving. Get up off your butt and start moving. This is the Hanged Man in the reverse. It's that ability, now that I see something from a different perspective, now that the view has changed, right? Some kind of key has become unlocked, and the mobility is available to you. You can go now, right? Get down off of that space that's been holding you up for so long. And look at, I mean, in this depiction of him, when he's in the reverse, you know, I see it as Odin, right? Hanging from the Yggdrasil for 9 days so that he could get the runes, so that man could have an education. But you could think of him as Prometheus, right? Making that sacrifice and getting stuck to the side of the cliff face so that the birds can come eat his liver every night because he gave us humans fire. The sacrifices that we make, this talks about making a sacrifice, and your sacrifice has been made. You don't need to sacrifice anymore. You just need to pray. You just need to talk, to have a conversation with Spirit. Say, I see now, and then the way is presented to you. Right. And that's a big deal. And again, with this Piscean energy, Pisces is heavy in this reading. Virgo is heavy in this reading. They're on the same axis. The Virgo-Piscean axis. We dive down into the introspect, we dive down into that cloudy space, and then we analyze it in the real so that we can figure out how to heal it. What have we got here? 9 of Pentacles. These fell out on the moon, so we're going to read them with the moon here. 9 of Pentacles. Again, that feeling of independence. Again, that feeling of Virgo, this being tied to the Hermit card here, right? Independence. King of Wands in the reverse. Probably the most prideful character in the tarot. The King of Wands in the reverse. Haughty, prideful, arrogant. Okay, keep in mind that that could be part of this delusion. And here we have the Emperor. Ooh, are you becoming independent? Are you standing independent from forces that are quite controlling? These are bosses, and again, the Emperor came out in reverse yesterday. There's this, you know, it's like take it as it resonates. Father figure, patriarchal, masculine leader head. Okay, and in the upright, they are warm, they are organized, they are caring, they're stable, they provide. Right? When they're in the reverse, they take, they're unstable. They do not provide. As a matter of fact, they might keep you from being able to provide for yourself. This is, again, carryover of the energies. I don't mean to repeat myself, but 1444, Spirit wants this to come through. If you didn't see that reading, that's fine. You're being reminded today, if you did see that reading, it's telling you that if you need to take a time and a moment to sit, go ahead and do that, because this independent wealth that you've gained, right? Whether that be actual monetary value, wealth within yourself, knowledge, know-how, stability, right? Take it how it resonates. Hopefully it's all of those things. If you haven't accomplished all of those things yet, you are well on your way. And you don't really need to be held back, right? Or made hysterical or made to believe the delusions of those who would take power just to wield it to serve themselves. What is it that Ragnar said? If we're talking about Odin, we got all this here. Ragnar said to Björn, power is only available to those who are willing to lower themselves enough to pick it up. You have control over yourself. You have power over your being. You can stand on your own. And there is this thought, it's like interesting too, because here are these two guarding this path, going through, right? And here are these two. These people could be it feels like, he's got like the information. He's holding the information against people. He's got the know-how. Maybe he's the only one who knows where the button is. It's like not like intellectual information that requires a lot of study. It's just some tidbit of information that's extremely important and very well guarded, and it's being used nefariously to serve one or two people. This is this is fire energy. This could be one person. This could be two people. It could be like the boss and the manager, and both of them are shitty. They're serving each other, rather than the company, rather than the people, right? I think that you're starting to really see the truth of the matter. And again, with the Nine of Pentacles energy, standing on your own, being self-reliant and being able to provide, and again wanting to put a protective bubble. I'm feeling like this protective bubble. What's on the bottom of that one? Yeah, Knight of Swords. Because beware of the information. Again, he's got this scroll and the idea of information and what's being said behind the scenes, what they're communicating with each other, and what they're withholding. And I think that even though you don't necessarily have the information on the scroll, you have enough information to bypass this, to get moving, and you're praying for direction, and it's being provided for you. Spirit is here to comfort you in this space. Can you tell me about the Queen of Cups energy? A lot of water, a lot of fire here. Page of Coins and the Death in reverse. I told you guys it's the Fedor Pavlov, so we have to make it YouTube friendly sometimes. Anyway, see how she's like making out with the Grim Reaper there. See, and she is laid bare. And you're starting to really reflect on what isn't transforming, what isn't ending, what isn't changing. Page of Coins, the student. O ye who learns, and you have learned quite a bit. And what you've learned is valuable. And even though you're still in that student mind, here is this baby again. It's like you're being the maternal figure to yourself. You're nurturing this new project. I heard product. I was saying both at the same time. So maybe there's a project or a product, or they're both, right? Whatever it is for you, it's like this really reflecting on these things, getting moving, and kind of like extricating yourself from these like when we talk about the masculine and the feminine, it could be men and women, okay, but it's talking about the action and the introspection, the things that the conversation that we're having on the inside, how we direct ourselves, right? That's the feminine. And the actions that we take and how we express ourselves, that's the masculine. And there's this internal knowing here that the situation isn't going to change. The thing isn't, the dynamic there, maybe the people involved, they aren't going to change, but you have gained something valuable from this, and you are already collecting valuable things. knowledge, resources, know-how, connections, real things, little investments that you are making that are starting to really accumulate, right? Because she's planting these seeds. See that? Doing that for yourself. And again, now we have the moon, the hanged man, and the death card, and we have the Queen of Cups in the upright. That is all of the water. All of the water. So if wherever you might have water in your chart, I would check that out and see how this might affect or reflect, or how you might find one of your greatest strengths of your emotional self, right? That can help you in this. Help you harvest, develop, plant these seeds. Tell me about this victory. We love this victory. Page of Cups. Now you got 2 pages, and look at that on the bottom. Temperance. So get Temperance and the Hermit. Very, very spiritual. Very divine. And we talk about the water and the fire, and here it is. Mixing them together, 1 foot in the water, 1 foot on land. Their bare feet. We're really feeling all of this, right? How do we move them, mix them together? How do we heal? Talks about like healing and patience, and again taking that time. And the Hierophant underneath, you guys, is just like Spirit is here. Spirit is here. Spirit is with you, guiding you, helping you, assisting you, and most of all right now, healing you. The Page of Cups coming out here with the 6 of Wands. Victory. And look at, she's very creative. This is that emotional spark that has been, now it's safe to create, right? Now it's safe to express. Now it's safe to show. Now this could be like an apology. I don't feel like it's an apology. I feel like it's a congratulations. I feel like it's a very subtle congratulations. A pat on the back of the I knew you could do it. The what will you do next kind of a feeling here. It's very, very beautiful. Beautiful. And she has like this little fish in this cup and this paintbrush and this stuff, like she's getting ready to go create. This one is planting seeds. She's got her pentacle here. It's like now that you are ready to go and you can see the path, you've prayed, you know the way. Now you can be victorious. I heard go play. You know, in some ways, because we have the Queen of Cups with these 2 kings here, it's almost like they've been like a kid going off to college, or maybe you get a promotion of some kind, or maybe you don't want the promotion in that company. Maybe you've learned enough and you're ready to, because that company is not going to change, or that situation isn't going to change. That group of people, but you've learned enough and earned enough, whether it be money or skill, to go and plant your own seeds. Yeah, I want more details about this too before we get on that. So let me get my tea leaves. The tea leaf cards. They always tell us about, they get real specific. So we're going to take, 2 piles here. And we'll get cards from both. They're too difficult to shuffle this size of this many cards. Round cards. Ancestors, spirits, guides. Can you give us some knowledge and info, some clarity about the prey, the way, the hanged man in reverse? Can you tell us about this, please? Lion, time to act. Hanged man in reverse, the way, lion, time to act. Absolutely. Cannot sit there any longer. Great passion. Because you got stuff to do and you're very excited about it, and it's part of something that you love. Tulips remind me of spring. The lion reminds me of Leo. And I'm also thinking March is in like a lion, out like a lamb, but it has been roaring. This March has been roaring. But there could be a Leo, or something that happened around Leo time. I'm also hearing the Lion King. There's like this great passion in the tulip, you know, back in like the 17th century, maybe it was the 18th century. There was, they used tulips in Holland as money, in the Netherlands, and there were some tulip bulbs that were very, very rare and worth a lot of money. And it's just an interesting concept, because it was like, yeah, the money was very, you could grow it, you could grow the money, which of course that market fell. That didn't last a very long time. But it's just really interesting how we can apply value to something other than money and use it in that trade way. Something about this, like, I think that you're starting to see that you could use something differently, and in some sense it's probably your passion, like your inspiration and your drive, right? It's time to get up and act. Can you tell us any other specifics about this, the Way and the Hangman in the reverse, September? What did we talk about? Leo time, Virgo time, right? Time to act. September, September is, half of September is Virgo, half of September is Libra. So you could have been stuck up in this space since like the end of summer, beginning of fall. There's something to do with the month of September, Virgo time, right? The bear, danger, especially in money matters. All right, let's talk about this moon and the Emperor and the King of Wands in reverse. Let's talk about this Nine of Pentacles. What does all this have to do with the slice of bread? Pale. Time to get out of a situation. No use crying over spilt milk. Can't put that water back in that bucket. It was probably yuck water from washing the floor, and needed to be dumped out in a safe spot outside so the dogs don't drink it. That's how yucky that water is. Don't be sad that it's gone, okay? Time to get out of a situation. And look, an increase in material wealth or spiritual growth. Nine of Pentacles energy, goldfish energy. Getting out of there, retaining and maintaining your own wealth and value. Look, a wish is granted. If your wish is to be free from that, if your wish is to be financially, I heard solvent, financially independable. Wow, that's how these people are. They're solvent, they're independable. You gotta figure this out. You are holding that Nine of Pentacles. They're like leaning on you. Don't let yourself be taken advantage of these people, because they're in it to take advantage of everyone. And that's not fair. Financial gain usually coming from something you did in the past. Dolphins. Dolphins are playful. You got the dolphins and the goldfish. Interesting. This is a mammal who breathes in the water. Or who lives in the water but has to come up to breathe, right? And this is the fish who breathes in the water. It's like my brain is going 5 places at once. There's this like emotional component to it, this emotional fulfillment, this being in your element. Right. Time to act. Get out of that yuck space. What's that say on the bottom of the legs? Stepping into a new experience. This is all for you. You're like meditating on it right now to really clear the mind, so that when you activate, you know it's activating. Like being clear in yourself. This situation, these folks here, they're always going to be this way. They're always going to be greedy. They're always going to be arrogant. They're always going to be prideful. They're always going to be, lecherous. Do not let them do that to you. Reflective here. There's a part of you that needs to also not change, and it's your drive. It's your self-love. Don't ever change that unless you're increasing it, unless you're involving it, unless you're sharing it. But don't ever diminish that to feed yuck, Chair-filled. Someone new is entering your life. Page of Coins, Queen of Cups. This could be somebody new who takes you in their charge, right? The Queen and the Page, and this Queen does have a baby here. And they could see that there's something stagnant happening in that other situation, that you are moving forward and that you're worth it. Look, there's this looking out and looking at this, maybe this product here. You aren't alone. Again, like you were feeling alone. You had to take some time alone. So taking some time alone does not mean that we're all by ourselves. Maybe that's why we have to get out and go hide in our car. Right? That in-between space in the elevator here. And somebody's proud of you. On the bottom, solid foundation, success with effort. So this is the good tower. Let's get a little bit more information here. Can you tell us a little bit more about this, please? Stepping into a new experience, leg came out again. Cup. You should accept valid criticism. So if someone's like, hey, you stayed over there too long, accept that. Hey, you're still learning. This might be a better way to go. Accept that. Hey, that thing you've been trying to change for a really long time just ain't doing it. It's okay. 33-3. Okay? Tell me about the Six of Wands and this Page of Cups, because that's what we really want to know about right now. We want to know about the victory. Horse, a short journey. And there is a horse on this card. I heard going places. June. The month of June. That could be someone's name is June. Look at this. I tell you, like angels, spirit. Wow. Underneath that is the Queen of Cups again in the upright, guys. Oh, says you will receive a gift. And you are on the right path regarding some aspect of your life. Look at that. You're on the right path. In the way. You are on the right path. 3131. Guys, Spirit is telling you right now. Well, family wishes coming true. You got your wishes coming true twice. I think it's not just your wishes, but the wishes that your soul tribe, your people also wish for you. Those supporting, loving people. Look, Peacock fell right down on this this Emperor and King of Wands. It says, beware of great pride. So it's interesting because sometimes in different decks, the peacock comes out and it means shine your light. Let your light shine. And then sometimes it comes out and it says, beware of great pride. And I think that there is like a fine line between those things. And maybe you're afraid to show that you are proud of yourself because you don't want to look like these assholes over here. Don't worry, you won't. Don't worry, you won't. People are proud of you too. Look, Carrot, opportunity or windfall. This opportunity is here for you because you have prepared for it. This windfall is available to you because you've earned it, you are worth it, and you are willing to go out and get it. Move past it. Don't stay in this space with these people that are negative. Go to this space where people are loving so that you can be that loving person that you are and you don't have to hide in this space. Look at that. Meditation. I think that's a pretty clear suggestion to take some time and meditate. Take some time to introspect. Be open to receiving. Because you can pray and pray and pray and pray and talk and talk and talk and talk. But if you aren't open to listening, then how will you know what the answers you're receiving are? Hathor intelligence. Oh, thank you. Divine Mother here. Divine Mother energy. Celebrating, nurturing, feeding, and having a good time. Hathor loves to have a good time, and that's a very smart thing to do. Using your intelligence, using your discernment, and knowing what is worth putting your energy, time, and emotions into. Right? You're very, very smart. Very, very, very smart. Looking on that interior space, right, is nourishing. I'm hearing like that nourishing. It's interesting too. We'll look at that in just a second. What's on the bottom? Anubis. Transformation. So many synchronicities coming out in this reading. And the weighing of the heart, right? The weighing of the heart. Do you feel light and free? Apophis the darkness. And it's okay to walk through, because you are the light within your own tunnel. You are safe and you are guarded. And there is a transformation that needs to occur here within that darkness. And there's the things that aren't changing. And I think those things you're starting to identify and being able to see. And what is changing in you is your perception and your perspective of others' unchanging behaviors, energies, attitudes, right? And your value is being seen. Your work is being appreciated. You just might not be able to see through all the way to the end yet. You're just not there yet. You're getting there. You're getting there. And right now, that isn't the point. Right now, the point is to take that time to introspect. Take some time today to go inside your heart space, your spirit space. Take some time today to consult with your guides about something that you are extremely passionate about, about something that you want to learn more about, something that you would like to pursue. And maybe it's something that you've already begun that really lights your fire and brings you that emotional fulfillment. You are on the right path. And a new experience is coming through. You're in that in-between space, in that elevator, in that, on that walk, on that, in that portal. You're able to see a glimpse of it, and then it drops you out. Just going back to John Malkovich, it drops you back out on the side of the freeway, and now you have to go figure out how to get into that space in the real yourself, how you could be the occupant, the permanent occupant of that beauty, of that life that you desire. It's like showing you what's available to you, or what's actually out there, because somebody else's life isn't available to you. Your life is available to you. But you can see that it is possible in humanity, in life, right? And it gives you drive, it gives you perspective, it gives you something to aim for, this arrow. And you're on the right path. Prosperity. And integration. Integration says the frequency of integration supports our embrace of every aspect of ourselves, allowing what we perceive as positive and what we perceive as negative to harmonize in a balanced symphony of life. Look how cool that is. That reminds me of those like Native American blankets. I want to say it's like I could because like the American Southwest. In Navajo or Hopi. Look at those. Just these colors. These colors are so beautiful in that warmth space, right? And the coolness behind it, that integration, the coolness behind it. Yes, they're cold and warm. Yes, they're solid. One's on the outside, one's on the inside. Well, what happens is that they're complementary colors. They actually bring each other out. They bring each other together. Right? They hold on to one another, but they're still retaining their own individuality. They're still retaining their own space, so they don't get muddied. Look at that. Prosperity. And that was number 30. And now we have number 36, 369 happening a lot. Okay. The frequency of prosperity supports our feeling of well-being by allowing inclusion of everything that makes our body, mind, heart, soul, and spirit sing. It invites us to express ourselves in joy and celebration of the abundance and riches that the universe provides. Absolutely. You're receiving a gift. Guess what? People in the world are going to be receiving the gift of you. You are the gift. And there's an exchange there. You get something in return. Your prosperity is on its way. Live long and prosper. I'm telling you what, it is on its way to you right now. Right now. Do we want or We're going to get one of these, and then I do want to, I know there's a lot of like reading on these cards, but these are the cards that wanted to come out today. It is getting to be a little bit of a longer reading, but I kind of like those when that happens lately, because it means that we're relaxing into the occupancy of our space. We're getting into the depths of things. We're really looking at them. We're taking the time to do that. We're not rushed. Get one of these, and then we're going to get an animal card. Then we'll close it up. Ancestors, spirits. The sun does not exceed its limits, because the avenging furies, ministers of justice, would find out. Wow. Let the furies become your muses. Most things have set limits within which they function. The sun must rise in the east and set in the west. If it rose in the west, there would be chaos. Hercules used the metaphor of the avenging furies for the horrific force that prevents things from overstepping their bounds. But fear not. Strict limits can be powerful stimulant to the creative process. If you've ever been asked to solve a challenging problem with a small budget or a tight deadline, you've probably found that you were more resourceful than if you had been granted a ton of money and time. As architect Frank Lloyd Wright told his students, limits are an artist's best friend. That's because they force us to think beyond the conventional solutions and find answers we might not otherwise have discovered. For example, skyscrapers weren't developed by people with cheap, unlimited land, but by innovators who wrestled with the problem, how do we create abundant office space on small pieces of expensive real estate? How can you turn your constraints of your situation to your advantage? Wow. The bubble. The bubble. And again, having those rules and restrictions, that template within which we're allowed to work, those limited resources. I'll tell you, as an artist, I enjoy an assignment. Right? As a writer, I really enjoy an assignment, because it gives me it gives me a box to put the stuff in, right? It gives me a working space. It allows me to have a trail to follow, or something that I'm trying to accomplish, a goal, right? It lets me know what that is. And if you push too far on the outside of that, that will come back at you. And I think that that's a big deal here, because you're starting to see that. Like, if you push against the Emperor in reverse and the King of Wands in the reverse, you're going to get a lot of backlash. There's going to be a lot of fury. They could stick you in your space and not let you escape, right? There's a lot. The sun will not exceed its limits, because the avenging furies and ministers of justice would find out. We have Anubis here talking about transformation, talking about weighing in the balance, the heart space. You are working with the forces that be, and they're working with you, and they're not going to let these other things push you outside of your path. That's why it might have put you in a space where you had to sit and wait for a little while, and now you're ready to get up and move, because you can see it from this different perspective. So just keep that in mind, okay? How can you turn the constraints of your situation to your advantage? All right. Now, maybe the cosmic creatures, this is going to close us up. Not close us up. Close up the reading. Stay open, guys. Stay open. Meditative bubble. And see through it, okay? Ancestors, spirits. The monkey. Oh, we love the monkey. Sorry about that. I had a phone call. Monkey. Playfulness, curiosity, and fun. Laughter makes the heart grow fonder, and the monkey uses medicine to its advantage. The monkey is a natural entertainer and knows how to draw smiles from the most serious of faces. They teach us how to have more fun. It's like bear. They teach us how to have more fun, livening up our everyday existence with bursts of joy. Access this part of yourself, the prankster, the innocent and playful young child, and follow your curiosity. Whatever makes you laugh. Who makes you laugh? When was the last time you had some fun? The monkey swiftly swings through the jungle, always on the lookout for a new adventure. Explore your surroundings and invite in new experience. Your soul is calling for you to have a little, to live a little. Break up the monotony and introduce some new into your life. Let your inner child lead the way, following the purest of intentions to your greatest desires. Be open to where they lead you, especially if it's outside of your comfort zone. Wow. Sorry, my dog is like... That bubble, leaving that comfort zone, having a good time, being joyous, right? That childlike wonder. Right here, 2 pages in this six of wands. It's right there for you. It's right there for you. Just gotta let it in. Laughter is the best medicine. And it will definitely help get us out of this space of overly serious protection and introspection, right? The integration of the beautiful. I hope that was helpful. I hope that you got something out of it. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for remembering to hit like and subscribe and letting me know how this resonated, if it did. And thank you for coming back and seeing us again next time. Bye.
Transformation in 3, 2, 1.